Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Excellency Mrs. Mary Primadewi as the lecturer, Honorable all of subscribers, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters. There is not the most beautiful word to say in this bright morning except to thanks and pray unto Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala because of His mercies and blessing. Everything can be performed without any troubles and obstacles. And we never forget to convey salawat and salam to our Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, who has guided us from the darkness to the brightness, from stupidity to the cleverness, from Jahiliyah era into Islamia. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Vira Suci Azhari. I'm from State Islamic Institute of Bukit Tinggi. Today, I would like to talk about my future career as a teacher. A career in education is uniquely challenging, yet especially rewarding. School teach us tasks in preparing their students with the knowledge that will see them through into adulthood. Adult education teach many prepare college and university students for future career as or teach a new skill such as language. Prospective teachers should be patient, calm, and detail-oriented with an ability to clearly communicate information in the classroom. A teacher not only teach science to his students but also educates them. To educate, don't have to teach in the full of ethics or become a religious teacher. Teaching in any field in faith, every teacher can apply education to students, namely teaching with heart. Being a teacher don't just want to be a person who hears his words, but also must be willing to listen to the difficulties faced by students. This basic principle is often forgotten. So if you want to talk honestly at this time, standing in front of the class, most are teaching staff, not a teacher. How is it possible to be a teacher after 1 year of teaching students cannot memorize the names of his students? A teacher is a leader. The way of thinking, mental attitude, and behavior that is reflected in daily life in front of and outside the classroom become an example for children in their care. A person who cannot lead himself is impossible to be a good teacher. A teacher is a figure who should be emulated his behavior. Luckily, there are still enough teachers who should be role models, but there are still many who stand as instructors. Hopefully, in the future, every figure who stands teaching in front of the class is a teacher. To be a good teacher, we must do number one is patient. The teacher must be patient. It must be realized not every student has the same ability to learn quickly. It must be remembered many things can happen in a class that cannot always be controlled. So, teacher must have a stock of 2 or even 3 storehouses of patience. And number 2, self-control. There may be students who feel wrong since morning. The students feel feelings on the teacher because he does not know any other better way. Well, teachers must be able to control themselves. It's annoying, but don't burst into anger. May sympathize, but must still find out what happened. And And then professional. The teacher is a role model inside and outside the classroom, a figure that should be dignified and imitated. Students observe what is inherent in the physical and personal teacher. Therefore, teachers must be professional. Professional dressing, working professionally, his work are also professional. This makes students appreciate the teacher. And then the teacher must have an attitude, must be able so that encourage student can choose. When faced with any task, abstinence from the teacher refusing or giving up. Any task must be completed. However, it can if it can't, don't make up the assignment so it's complete. It is better to cooperate with other parties to complete it the right way. Next, fair. Fair means placing things as they should or properly. Treat all students as fair as possible, although it's not easy. Such an attitude can minimize conflict or jealousy. And then respect. If the teacher respects students, the trade-off is the teacher will also be followed and respected by students. This is related to the nature of the teacher, as a role model that should be innocent and imitated. And then smart. The teacher must show a high level of intelligence and knowledge. Certainly, teachers don't have answer to everything in this universe. Maybe there are certain times the teacher is late thinking. However, the teacher must know where and how to find answers to unanswered questions. The next, proactive. Don't wait for bad situation to happen then react. Instead, take a proactive approach and steps to prevent source of the situation from exploding into bad conditions that are out of control. For example, understand how to deal with students who like to disturb class before class disruption becomes the student's habit. And the next, integrity. Teachers must uphold morals and ethics and not compromise with integrity. Once a moral defect in a career, that act will be recorded in the minds of colleagues, students, and institutions. And the last, humor. Build a pleasant learning atmosphere through humor. Not only do students like it, teachers make it easier to manage classes. Only the joke must be within reasonable limits. And also, teachers are also human beings who might be wrong, so don't misuse power but be humble in front of students. Teachers may position themselves as senior partners who guide students' younger siblings. The teacher serves what is known but does not need to be focused. Let students be the focus of the learning process. The teacher's knowledge, experience, and authority must be applied wisely. Indeed, it takes maturity to be wise. However, as experience and hours of applying increase, the wise nature can penetrate into the thoughts, attitudes, and daily behavior of a teacher. Also, to become a teacher as a career, a teacher must also do these three things. We can be a motivator, administrator, and evaluator. As a motivator, a teacher is expected to be able to provide mental and moral encouragement to students, so that in the future they always have enthusiasm and purpose in learning. A reliable motivator will make his students as someone who is reliable and brave in facing every problem in life. A teacher acts as an administrator, where the teacher concerned will record the individual development of students and deliver it to parents. This is expected to keep the child in question always going on the right track. And then, as an evaluator, a teacher has the right to provide assessment and input for the progress of students. So that's all of my speech today. Uh, as a teacher, we just not be a teacher as a profession, but also we must be a teacher as a career. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.